that have tried to improve our practice. Over the last 2 decades, research and evaluations have focused increasingly on outcome. The consultation document, strategies to prevent and minimize gambling harms, released by the Ministry of Health in July last year, outlined an outcomes framework, signifying that the government is committed to this framework. But what does it mean to be outcome focused? How can we measure outcome? What evidence, research, or other supporting information do we have that show how our intervention contributes to our outcome? Besides, different linguistic and cultural contexts provide different ways of understanding health, well-being, and help seeking. What core values, concepts, and principles from diverse groups can be drawn on to enhance outcome? There are some over there. In this presentation, I will attempt to address some of these questions. Outcomes are the end results or changes that followed from an action or intervention. Take, for example, you and your colleagues have set up a training program to address obesity in a certain community. You have kept a record of such information as how many people you have recruited for the program, how many sessions you have run, and what were some of the things you have done in each session. Such information may be useful to your organization, but they do not tell what have changed in people as a result of the training program. An outcome-focused approach looks at what changes people have made over time. Using the above example, the above training program to address obesity, some of the changes that we hope to achieve maybe that people are now more aware of a healthier lifestyle than they were before the training program, that they are cooking healthier food and doing more exercise, etc. These are some of the desired outcomes. If we have identified all these desired outcomes, that would be able to guide us to design activities that would help people make the changes. And also look at what progress people are making from session to session during the period of your program. So in terms of some of the design outcome for problem gambling intervention, we'll look at minimizing or preventing harms. Harms from gambling is known to impact on individual, their family, and friends, and the broader community. We all know that as we work in this sector. Financial harms are normally the first harm mentioned by people, and harm from gambling can also be associated with depression, other emotional or psychological issues, other addictions and substance abuse, and can impact on people's health and well-being. Another dimension of harm that is relationship harm, or the harm relating to relationship of the people who gamble and their affected others, such as their family and friends. Relationship harm are often a second-order harm due to the consequence of financial harm, but it is also a kind of primary harm due to the loss of available time of the person who gambled with the people, with their family, and also a breach of trust with them, resulting in family conflict, disruption, or family breakdown. And finally, involvement in criminal activities are also a consequence of gambling that have harmful impact on both the people who gamble and the affected others, and the community at large. So these are some of the, in gambling intervention, these are some of the possible outcome indicators that client and the practitioners may wish to focus on. on the importance of paying attention to outcomes and not just output, in problem-gathering intervention. Now, I'm going to turn to some of the research findings that have told us about what is important in the therapeutic intervention relationship. Thus, there are different forms of therapeutic intervention that are used in New Zealand. For example, CBT, family therapy, motivational interviewing, and also some of the indigenous or cultural models of health. For a time, research has been focused on the effective ways of matching intervention with particular issues. What intervention worked best for what sort of problem, or what intervention worked best for a particular client group. For example, within the some decades before, a lot of intervention has been trying to look at, say, whether a more directive approach of counseling are suitable for Asian people than the non-directive approach, because they are supposed to be more familiar with the hierarchical relationship. But this kind of research has now become less significant. Nowadays, some of the research tend to focus on paying attention to develop cultural competency in practitioner to work with people from different linguistic and cultural background. So developing cultural competence doesn't mean that people from a similar linguistic group work to match a practitioner with a particular linguistic group or particular cultural group. Because interestingly, we can find that even for people who share the same culture, they might speak different languages. People who share the same languages could be from different culture. So what we need to do is to focus on a kind of sharing, understanding, and respect. So that to build that relationship. Here, I'll try to draw on an example of the post-talking therapy project in the early 2000s. This project drew on best practice research and consultation with experienced New Zealand practitioner working with Maori, Pacifica, and Asian people, and made recommendations on how to deliver talking therapy in ways that best meet the unique needs of the different cultural group. This is a quite a large project that result in different resources and also promote the kinds of exchange between different culture and the understanding of the different groups, cultural wills, and some of the facilitators and hindrance to that influence the counseling process. One of the main findings from the project is that it highlights that effective intervention require positive engagement. Something that Dr. Morrison talked about this morning, and also outline some of the key principles of engagement as I have listed here. So particular emphasis has been given to cultural consideration, incorporating cultural protocols into the therapeutic process. So regardless of the kind of approach that you use, the practitioners had to incorporate the particular cultural protocol that is relevant to the particular group. Building rapport, demonstrating respect, involving families, and drawing on the support of the community are also important principles of engagement. Above all, positive engagement also involves seeking regular feedback from client as ongoing feedback from client can tell us if the practitioner is on track with their work, or need to adjust their approach to help the clients to get what they want. So we can see that throughout some of this work, relationship is seen as one of the most important factors that can contribute to positive outcome. So this is something that we could focus on when we are doing the intervention. So far I've been trying to suggest that outcome and relationship and feedback from the client are some of the important factors contributing to the success of intervention. What tools are available to help us monitor this change, to know that whether our intervention have achieved our outcome, to understand, to monitor whether that relationship with your client is an enhancing one, and also elicit the feedback from your client. We can see that there are different tools which are available, but in applying some of the tools in the counseling situation, we need to take into consideration that it is unlike a research tool. Research tool like what Lauren has talked about before. When doing research, we can give the client a whole list of assessment tools, pages and pages of it for them to fill in, so that we'll try to find out what are the correlation between the various variables. But if we are doing intervention, if we're doing counseling or some research activity, so these tools need to be very brief, short time, because it shouldn't be taking up a lot of the time of the actual intervention activities. And also we need to with the aim of incorporating the tools into the intervention process, so that it can allow the therapist, the counselor, and the client to talk about the result and to make improvement. So it is unlike in the research situation, you collect the information and then you go away doing the analysis, and in the end the participants may not even know the outcome or the answer of what you have found. So when we're talking about how we are going to use tools in the intervention process, to monitor change, we have to focus on needing to make sure that the tools are short, reliable, and valid. I'm a member of the advisory group of the Problem Gambling Foundation of New Zealand. We have since around about 4 years ago started to use two practical tools to monitor change in our client during intervention. And these tools are not developed specifically by the Problem Gambling Foundation, but then they are internationally used outcome measures. And these are, unfortunately, it is quite clear, sorry. And one of the tools is called the outcome ratings scale, and the other one is the session rating scale. The outcome rating scale is on your left, and the session rating scale is on the right. Among us, we have some colleagues from PGF who will be using it for quite a while. I'm trying to briefly introduce this tool because it kind of integrate some of the key things that I've been talking about before. The outcome rating scale, the ORS, is administered at the beginning of every session to try to look at the client's perception of their individual well-being. So the outcome rating scale got 4 items. Yeah, it's for the client to assess whether I could read out the instruction here. Looking back over the last week, including today, help us understand how you have been feeling by rating how well you have been doing in the following areas of your life. And the 4 areas that the client is going to rate is their personal well-being, their interpersonal relationship, that means that, their family relationship, social relationships such as work, school, and friendship, and also they got the rating of the general sense of well-being. So these are generally the kinds of outcome indicators that we have talked about earlier that would impact on the client's life who are involved in gambling activities. So these for each of the items, the client is given a 10 centimeters long line for them to put on that line how well they are feeling in that area. If they put the cross on the further left hand side, means that they don't feel very good. If they put it further on the right side, then they will feel better. So the counselor can obtain scoring on each session about the outcome rating scale up to a total of 40 points. And those, because it is collected every session, so cumulatively they can look at it over time to see what progress they are making or if they were not making any progress. The other tools that were developed and used were the session rating scale, the SRS. It is completed at the end of the session to obtain client's feedback on the counselor in the session in regard to 4 areas. One of the areas is relationship, whether the client feel that they felt they were heard, understood, and respected. The second area is goal and topics, whether the client perceives that in the sessions they have worked on and talked about what they want to work on and talked about. The third item is approach or method, that is whether the client perceives that the therapist's approach is a good fit for them. And then finally there is the overall session rating scale. So again, this is a good to help the counselor trying to make sense of how well the sessions go on, and also give the opportunity for us to explore some of the cultural issues. If say the client feel that the session doesn't actually feel comfortable in front of the counselor, then it might give a low rating on the scale, and that would open up discussion about what can be done to improve the situation in the next and the following sessions. So because each client filled in the 2 forms during each session, reviewing the score over time can help identify which clients are making progress and which are at risk of negative outcome. The client and the counselor can sit together to review some of the low score, and it allows the counselor to discuss with the client whether they need to shift their focus or to change the intervention in order to prevent dropout. As we know that in the counseling session, dropout is if you are unable to engage your client, then dropout is one of the very likely outcome. So having that chance to review with the client and then get their feedback, have an opportunity to deal with that outcome. And also low sessional rating scale also allows the counselor to ask for clarification and direction and what they can do differently to make things better next time. The two scale can also interpret it together. Yes, since some clients may have high session rating scale but low outcome rating scale. And we had discussed some situations like that. Is that there is a possibility that the client might be, they say that the session go on well, but then they're not making any improvement. And that discrepancy can also be bring up for discussion, because that might indicate that the client had develop some dependency with the counselor. So they like to continue the session, but then they are not really dealing with the real issues that they were dealing with, so that there had not been any progress in terms of the outcome. So there is a lot of possibilities that can come out from individually looking at the client's progress, using the scale, and also looking at the change over time, and also comparing the general outcome with the different client group. So this is a very short presentation highlighting some of the better practice by introducing the outcome-informed approach. Over the next 3 days in the conference, in fact, there is a number of presentations which are also focused on this approach. Like tomorrow, we have a keynote presentation by Barry Duncan, who's the one who initiated the two scale. We'll be talking about some of his experience of how the scale will make climate change. And also there are two presentations that is draw on PGF's data to look at the Asian people's experience of the council process, as well as the overall making use of the a few thousand data, making some preliminary analysis of what the result mean for the time being. So we think that in the long run there could be quite a lot of use that we can